questions, symptoms, mystery conditions, mystery illnesses, and all kinds of different things you could be struggling from. Make sure you post your question or write your comment, get your question in there, because I want to answer questions. I do. This is something I want to tell you right now. I'm making an announcement right here. Medical Medium Podcast. Medical Medium Podcast at Spotify and Apple Podcasts, right? Well, I think it's coming out either today or it's coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure which day, but it's going to be an interview with my dad. So my dad and I are on the Medical Medium Podcast, having a good time. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. So you might want to listen. So make sure you tell everybody that AW's going to be on the Medical Medium Podcast with his father. He is. So I'm actually really excited. I'm nervous. A little nervous about it, because whatever. But it's the first time I've ever done anything like this, where I've had somebody in my family come on to the Medical Medium Podcast and talk. And I'm excited. I'm actually so excited. We just recorded it. So it's going to be released today on the Medical Medium Podcast. I'm going to say it again and again and again. Or tomorrow, I think tonight, I think so. So anyway, but I just wanted to tell you that it's a very special moment for me. It's me and my dad. This is going to be really cool. That's all I can say. I am excited for you guys because there's a lot of wisdom in there. There's a lot of things to glean. There's just a lot there. And most importantly, I mean, come on, having a good time having my dad on there. So Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Make sure, you may not get the notification because most people don't get the notifications at the Apple Podcast and stuff. The notifications don't seem to go out. That's something that's happened. So you may have to just keep on looking. So keep on checking and go to the Medical Medium YouTube channel too. Check there, check wherever you can. Check Instagram the whole bit, and either way, you're going to know. So check Spotify. So I'm excited. Are you guys leaving your questions now? We're talking about symptoms, conditions. It's serious stuff, very serious stuff, because this is how it rolls. You got a symptom, you got a condition. The doctor has a name for it most of the time. That name does not ever explain what the real condition or symptom is. Do you know what I mean? Hey, I'm not wearing my shades today. What is going on here? That's because I just healed from my plastic surgery and my fox eye job. So being that I just got my plastic surgery job, I had plastic surgery done and I had fox eyes done. Fox eyes, right? Fox eyes. They just whittled all that wire in there and they pulled my eyes up. Now that it healed, I could wear glasses now that are clear. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't have anything done to my face. No way. No way. All right. So when it comes down to symptoms and conditions, keep in mind, yes, there are names. There are names, and there's inflammation, and there's the body attacking itself, autoimmune, but nobody gets real answers. And that's why I'm doing these Q&As. It's very important. Plus, I can give you all kinds of tips and information in and around it that you may not have heard anywhere else, because it stems from Medical Medium information. Hi, is there something for a 6-year-old who has trouble sleeping? And is there a cure for diverticulitis? So not sure if the diverticulitis, the 6-year-old or not. It sounds like that's for somebody else, or I'm just saying because I know you were just looking at one comment. But I will tell you this, that when it comes down to trouble sleeping, there's a lot of tricks you can do. Some honey before bed. That's a big one right there for children. Like a teaspoon of honey before bed, 2 teaspoons of honey before bed. Make sure you ask your pediatrician if that's okay. But that's something that glucose to the brain can create a type of sleepiness, especially at the end of the day or at night and so forth. So that's a good trick all in its own. You can start something small like that to start with. Is obviously if there's trouble sleeping and it's a child, then you know what's going on there. You know what's happening. Okay? If there's no reason, like loud noises, like all kinds of different problems in the house, if there isn't any such thing, or your child's not under serious duress, serious stress, if all that is ruled out, you're at the doctor's, hey, my 6-year-old can't sleep, my 6-year-old can't get the rest, you know, is not able to sleep in the whole bit, then what we got going on, something in here, you see, right there in the brain, there it is. And what we have going on is midline canal, right there. So neurotransmitter chemicals, electrical impulses, toxic heavy metals. So that is a big deal with children. It creates sleeping problems, sleep disturbances. It creates neurotransmitter situations where weak neurotransmitters, electrical impulse activity, and the midline canal right here. So maybe I can get a shot right there in a camera, different angle of the brain right here going this way. But what happens is, there you go. That's the top one there. Maybe I can get a side one too. So there you go. You got the top one there. See, guys, right there? Okay, and then the midline canal right here. So in this area, metals settle. That's where they settle in children. That's where they settle in the womb. So when the baby's in the womb, aha, here we are. So the baby's in the womb right there. Mommy gets exposed to a lot of toxic heavy metals. Yes, indeed, she does. Lots of them. One reason for toxic heavy metals is, of course, Mommy's favorite food. Yes. Mommy's favorite food right there. What is that? Sushi. 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 All the 20-year-olds eating sushi, 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 sushi. Then they turn 31. I better quickly have a baby. I better have a baby. Baby gets loaded with sushi metal. Lots of it in the womb. Reproductive system. The metal gets into the midline canal of the brain. It settles there. Baby's got ADHD. Baby's got autism. Baby, I'm not saying your 6-year-old has that. Baby has sleep disturbances. Baby has all kinds of problems. It could be anything. Motor skill problems, focus concentration problems, all of it because of toxic heavy metal exposure. I think one of the most ridiculous things that are still going on, and I'm not trying to be, just mean about it or anything, but the sushi thing just goes too far. You want sushi once in a blue moon, and you're in your 20s, you're a female, you have sushi once in a blue moon, so be it. You want to have it twice a week, want to have it once a week, baby is going to have problems. Period. That's it. It's just going to happen. And I think there's not enough in the health realm, enough gurus and experts and health experts, and the health realm has been taken over by nothing but ad campaigns and money-making schemes and financial money-making schemes and everything. The whole thing is just a shitstorm. The whole entire health industry has been taken over by a bunch of crap. It's crazy how it is. And it's not about the person really healing. It's not about knowing why you're sick. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not. It's about just trendy crap, selling crap, and just all of that. And then, and people rising up as influencers. That's what it's all about. But if we want to take life seriously and chronic illness seriously and children's health seriously, we have to go deeper. We have to really take a look at things. We have to take it seriously. And this is a problem right here. So if a 6-year-old is not sleeping good and there's no reason for it to be happening, no obvious reason that's going on, then we might have something going on in the brain, toxic heavy metals in the midline canal. What else do women love to eat? They love to eat chocolate. They love chocolate. Chocolate's in the diet every week. Raw cacao, cacao products, powdered cacao, chocolate, heavy metals, metals, toxic metals, sushi, toxic metals, chocolate, toxic metals, and then there it is right there. So those are just some really high exposure areas. And then it all gets into the reproductive system. It gets into the ovaries. The metals get deep into the uterus. The metals get in there. and the metals are in the husband, the partner, the companion, whoever it is. The metals are in the guy, the metals are in the girl, and then the metals are in the sperm, the metals are in the eggs, the follicles, the metals everywhere. And then we have problems which could lead sleeping, focus, concentration, ADHD, autism. This is to name a few. Ready for this? Tics, spasms, twitches, all of it, tremors, all of it combined. Anyway, so you want to really get down to things? HMD, the HMD or HMDS, medical medium heavy metal detox. Take that information to your pediatrician. That's what you need to do. We can go here into Brain Saver right there. All the different Brain Saver books. Do you have the Brain Saver? That one right there and this one. Both those. There you go. There's the protocols one. Oh, so much information about metals and how it works, real information, not just some little clip on social so people can rise up as influencers or whatever it is. Real information to get your life better, to turn it around. Critical information about toxic heavy metals. Really, really important. So I'll put these books right here for now. But for a quick remedy, you got to start where glucose is needed. If you have disturbances, electrical impulse issues, neurotransmitter issues with your child, then you bring in a little bit of honey. You start with that, maybe a teaspoon before bed every night. Ask your pediatrician if it's right for your child. I'm going to put this back over here. Little baby there, of course. And I'll leave the sushi there for now. It might come up again. So let's go. Let's talk about different information. Oh, I see a reflux. Must be acid reflux. How to fix forever reflux. 9 years now. Please advise. Okay. Let's talk about this. Oh. Just bear with me a second here. I do need a micro dose right now of lemon balm tea. Microdose. Such a trendy term. It's ridiculous. Okay. And people love that term, you know? They love it. They love it. It's amazing how the human mind works, right? Say, well, you just take a little bit of something. The human mind just doesn't give a shit about that. Doesn't even care. Like, take a little bit of something, right? No one wants to hear that. What people want to hear is microdose. And all of a sudden, they're like zombies. Like, microdose? Microdose? That's scientific. That must be something important. That must be, oh, microdose the shrooms, microdose this, microdose that. And then now the microdosing went into like the health realm on different things, like microdose this, microdose peptides, whatever. The same old crap going around and around and around. Okay. What has gotten into me? What? Take my shades off and this is happening. What has gotten into me? I just want to get a little sip here of lemon balm tea. So good. All right, let's go. Acid reflux. You went to the doctor. You don't have really bad scar tissue. You went to the doctor. Your esophagus isn't doing anything crazy. You went to the doctor. You don't have a big tumor in your esophagus. You went to the doctor. You don't have stomach cancer. You went to the doctor and they're looking around. They just see you have acid reflux and that's what you have. If that's the case, it is now classified mystery. 100% mystery. Like I said before, it has a name, but that name don't mean jack. You can name that thing anything. You could name stuff coming up and bothering your stomach and acid surfing. You can call it acid something else. Doesn't matter, because if they don't know what it is, you can give it any old name, like heartburn. Heartburn? Your heart's not really burning, but they gave it the name heartburn. They don't know what it is. They really don't have an idea, so let's go into it. Let's cut into it a little bit. Chronic acid reflux, something's going on. It could start from the basics. Let's hit there now, okay? Weak stomach glands. Let's start there, right off the running. Are you doing enough celery juice? Have you done celery juice every day for years? Have you done celery juice every day for a week? Do you even do celery juice? Did you try it? Okay? First things first, you got acid reflux. There's the celery juice book right there. First things first, let's get some celery juice in you. Why? Because you want to build up your gastric glands. I just opened up the stomach right here. I just did surgery on the stomach. You want to look at this opened stomach for a second. Inside are gastric glands. Gastric glands make up your HCl. It makes up your hydrochloric acid. Weakened hydrochloric acid happens with stress, high-fat diets, because everybody's fatting themselves to death in their diet. And it's all high-fat diet everywhere. Everywhere. It's just nothing but high fat. They try to shift it like into a place. They try to like mask it with high protein. Dude, high fat. That's what it is. But high fat diets right there cause a problem where they start to destroy your gastric glands over time. But it's not just that. How much coffee have you done? Coffee destroys the gastric glands. Did you do it for 10 years when you were younger? Did you do it for 20 years if you were younger, right? How much vinegar? Where's the vinegar? How much? Apple cider vinegar? I don't want to hear it about apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, yes, is the better vinegar. If you have to have vinegar, acetic acid, then yes, have apple cider vinegar. Does it destroy your gastric glands? All the same. All the same. It does. Acetic acid destroys the gastric glands in your stomach. And when they get weak and destroyed, no HCl gets produced or very little HCl gets produced, and then you're in trouble. Now you're going to be up against acid reflux one way or another. So let's go a little deeper now, okay? Liver, your liver. How beat up is the liver? Is it a fatty liver? Maybe the doctors don't know it's a fatty liver yet. Maybe they just don't know. It's on the edge. It's a pre-fatty liver. We're just trying to do some surgery right here. Here we go. A liver problem guarantees the potential for acid reflux, letting you know. So keep that in mind too. Stagnant, sluggish, overburdened, overworked liver can lead to acid reflux and get you in trouble. Here we go. Low hydrochloric acid because your gastric glands are wasted. They're beat up. Too much maybe adrenaline in your life for a lot of reasons. Maybe you're into adrenaline foods like coffee. Yep. Maybe chocolate, too much chocolate in your day. You got your adrenaline pumping out of your adrenals, all that adrenaline burned out your gastric glands. You got acetic acid coming from apple cider vinegar if you want, or white wine vinegar, or red vinegar, or balsamic vinegar, whatever it is. You got it in all those dressings that you eat all the time out there. It's in all the different products you have in your refrigerator. You're burning out your gastric glands, boom, boom, boom. And when they burn out and your liver gets stagnant, sluggish, pre-fatty, it gets overworked, overburdened, you're going to have acid reflux. That's a problem all in its own. Let's keep on going. Let's go. You want the information. Bacteria. Acid reflux, mucus and acid produced by bad bacteria, because bad bacteria is rising up in your intestinal tract and in your duodenum. H. pylori, bad bacteria, E. coli, strep, rising up, C. diff, staph, rising up, all the mucus produced, all the acids produced by it all. It's feeding off of all these foods you're eating. So when you're going, you're eating all kinds of different stuff. Maybe you actually eat good. Maybe you think you're eating really good, like this fried egg right here. You got a free-range chicken in your backyard. You got a free-range chicken in your backyard, and you just cracked open a nice free-range natural egg. You fed the chicken yourself. That's what you did. But in the end, you don't know it. All that bacteria that sits down in your gut that's giving you acid reflux will feed off that egg. More acids produced 2 days later. More acid reflux is occurring. Bad bacteria can do that. Okay. There's other things that can create acid reflux, but what you have to do is you have to restore your HCl to begin with. Has to be done. You got to start somewhere. Get the medical medium celery juice book. Did you know on Amazon.com right now, this thing is so cheap, so inexpensive on Amazon.com, the celery juice book. It's insane when I think about it. I mean, I really, it's a blessing, really. It's a blessing. You can get it that cheap. Go to the library. I don't care. Go to the library. Get it for free at a library. Take it out. But get yourself together. Get that celery juice going in you. If you can't make it yourself, go and purchase it. If you don't have a juicer, do it in a blender, like it's described in that book right there. But bring it into your life and start rebuilding your HCl and your hydrochloric acid as soon as you can, so someday you are free. And another thing too, lower those fats, learn about that information in the medical medium books, get your liver better, get it to work and function so that you're not spewing acid everywhere. Very important. There's liver rescue right there. There it is. Drum roll. Liver rescue right there. But let's get the acid reflux better. All right. Uh-oh. Is everything just coming out of here? Yeah. Let's go. Let's do some questions. Come on. You guys, if you just got on here, check out the Medical Medium podcast. Like, keep an eye on it because I'm releasing an episode of an interview that I just did this week with my dad. Yeah, my father. So he has, the medical medium's father, the medical medium's father has sat there with me. And I mean, the guy is just unbelievable. You think you like me? Even though there's so many people that hate me. But if you're somebody that likes me, you think you like me? You'll see where I get it from, because my dad is way cooler than me. He's way more awesome than me. All of the above. So then when you hear my dad on the Medical Medium podcast, then you're going to be like, okay, now I see why I like that guy, AW, but now I don't like AW as much anymore, because you could see his dad is way cooler and his dad is way better. And so, yeah, anyway. So make sure, Medical Medium podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, don't wait for a notification, because I highly doubt you're going to get it. I highly doubt it. Apple, took away the notification thing from my people. Guess they don't want my people to know my podcast is up. All right, so, and once in a while you might get one, but I don't get one. I don't get a notification. All right, let's answer some questions right here. I had histamine buildup. Any suggestions to clear this? Okay, it's going to be back to a couple of things. All right. Number one, do you have histamine buildup? You say you do. But here's the problem with histamine. Can't get a good reading. Can't get a good physician to figure it out. If they do figure it out, what scale is it on? How did they figure it out? Is it faulty blood testing? Is it trendy creations? Trendy creations. The histamine trend that happened where then all of a sudden they're testing for histamines, but they really can't, but they kind of can, but they can't, but they can, they can't, because really it could be a scam. I'm just letting you know, right? So let's just say histamines are real. You got a histamine problem. It's really happening. Let's go into it now. Okay? I'm not saying I'm anti-histamine. That's not it. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just trying to get you to think. Trying to get you guys to think, that's all, Medical medium information has blown the hood off of so much stuff out there, and it is always right. Yes, it's proven right all the time. Right down to Harvard saying Epstein-Barr creates, multiple sclerosis. Medical medium information, it's proven right all the time, all the way down to all the heavy metal information that's out there now, all taken from Info. Point is, I'm just trying to get you to think a little bit, and the histamine thing is something to think about. So, okay, you got histamines, they're building up. Any suggestions to clear this? You got to do this right here. You're not going to get rid of histamines through lymphatic drainage or lymphatic massage, okay? Which was another big trend about 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, and it flatlined. I'm sure a bunch of you guys still get them, but I'm just saying it flatlined. It's like dead turkey. You know that, right? Just like stem cell therapy is dead turkey. Now, peptides is better than stem cell therapy? I thought stem cell therapy was the end-all, be-all cure of all time on the planet, and now it's like, just like bone broth, just like the next trend, but now peptides, because everybody's putting them in front of your face, right? That's how it is. It's all about money and trend and how to make money as fast as you can while the trend's alive. And then the trend dies, they come up with something else, and then it goes into the stem cell basket, goes into the bone broth basket, it goes into whatever basket. Histamines is about getting your liver corrected. Critical. You get the liver corrected, then your bloodstream doesn't become dirty blood syndrome. Medical medium term. Dirty blood syndrome. Dirty blood means that anything collects in it, means that whatever they test you for is going to ring. Ring, ring, ring. Histamines, rings. I mean, everything's going to ring when you got dirty blood. It just is. So keep in mind, that's what it means. Histamine issues, histamines being built up in your system. They can, they're detecting histamines in one way or another. It means dirty blood syndrome. It means liver has to be corrected or your histamines will stay high. But there's one more trick to it. You ready for this? Pathogens. A lot of times, dirty blood gets filled with all kinds of pathogen debris. That's a virus in my hands. Can I get a camera over here in some way? It's a virus in my hand, right? Yep, there it is. See the virus? And get ready for this. You see the bacteria? Dirty blood syndrome also means could have a lot of pathogenic material in your bloodstream. That pathogenic material does not get detected by current medical tests. Okay? You ready for this? Instead, alarm bells ring. C-reactive protein, get ready for this. ANA, anti-nuclear antigen, get ready for this. Histamine, get ready for this. Gene mutation, get ready for this. Spirochetes in the bloodstream. Get ready for this. See what I'm going at? Get ready for this. Biofilm. Get ready for this. What happens is when your blood is dirty and your blood is filled with so much pathogen byproduct, it triggers off everything. It'll trigger off an HIV test. The one thing about HIV that really, really sucks, okay? The one thing, because HIV wasn't killing anybody. Keep in mind, it wasn't killing anybody. It was a whole bunch of other stuff. Just keep that in mind right there. But the one really crappy thing about HIV is you can get a false reading. You can get a false test. So if you're somebody with 3 or 4 viruses, they're wreaking havoc, you're somebody with dirty blood syndrome, and you're somebody with a really stagnant, sluggish liver right here, and you go and you purposely ask for an HIV test, there is a chance you are going to ring the bell with that faulty ass test system that they have. It's going to ring the bell. And now you got HIV when you don't even have HIV. That's how it works. So keep in mind that it falls under so many different things. Pathogens ring off histamine bells. They're pathogen debris because they're not looking for pathogen debris. They don't know anything about pathogen debris. And the sad part is when C came to town in 2020, when C came to town, right? When CO came to town, there were a couple of doctors that seemed like they were on the forefront. They seemed like they were like really trying to get the answers out to people about CO in 2020. And then now they just sell their own supplement brands and they don't even talk about it anymore. They're just out there like big influencers now. It's actually the saddest, stupidest thing. They're not out there trying to find like pathogenic debris, things like that, to understand like histamines rising, to understand, why your C-reactive protein test is off the chart, why this is off the chart, why this is off the chart. They don't even care. Nobody cares. Everybody right now is just like, screw the chronically ill. Who cares what they're suffering or dealing with? Just take our products. That's what they do now. That's what the podcast doctors do too. It's really sad. Anyway, when it comes down to histamines, you got some dirty blood syndrome going on there. Probably got some pathogenic debris in there. Could be an Epstein-Barr, could be a shingles, could be an ASV, could be like a herpes simplex 1, could be a herpes simplex virus, could be any of those, HHV6, HHV7. You got some different bacterias in you too. Maybe a cyto. You got a cyto, and all of it together, producing material, all in here. Stuff is pissing out of your liver into your bloodstream, day in and day out, in the morning, at night. You're on a high-fat diet, so it's just all staying in there. And you go, and the doctor, the healthcare provider, the naturopathic guy, the chiropractor guy who thinks he knows everything, the, whatever doctor that thinks they know everything, they're going to say you're high in histamine, that must be your problem, and that's why you're sick. Anyway, bring this information to your doctor and, and do whatever's right by you with you and your doctor. But it's a good talk. It's really good information. Let's go into some more. There's Liver Rescue right there. Do you guys have these books? I mean, do you guys have these books? You got the Brain Saver book? Did you ever read that book? I know a bunch of you guys have it, but I mean, these are miracles right here. These books are miracles. This isn't AI crap. Oh, man. Don't get me freaking started about the AI bullshit. Don't get me started about that. Okay. If AI is so all-knowing and it is God, then how come it spits out when you type in something? A friend of mine said, I typed in this. What does this mean? I said, well, it means that AI is just gathering theories and trends and then shoving it in as if it's something real. So people think because they looked it up and AI said this and this and this, they think that it must be real. It must be, that's what you do. Let me take this, let me do this, let me do this. Meanwhile, it's just governed by trends. AI is just a hodgepodge of crappy material. AI is Wikipedia. That's AI now. It's Wikipedia. Wikipedia was a bunch of crap, all hodgepodge together, bunch of people's opinions thrown in and everything else. No real facts. That's Wikipedia. It's the shit of all shit, right? And AI is becoming the upgraded Wikipedia where you can look up stuff and still get the wrong information because it's gathering just a bunch of misinformation and putting it together as if it's something that's good for you. That's a whole nother thing going on. All right, let's keep on moving along. I'm going to have some lemon balm tea. I'm not saying all AI. I'm just saying that part. All right. How can I get rid of whatever is blocking me from going all in on MM-style eating? There's a lot of subliminal crap going on out there. Just going to be straight up. Maybe I'll talk about it at the round table over here. But there's a lot of subliminal stuff. That could be a thing all in its own. So much is being thrown at each person. You can't watch something without ads being thrown at you like left and right. By the way, I'm going to clear this up. I did not authorize any ads on my YouTube. I did not authorize any advertisers that are in the way of the videos for you to get free listening, free and clear listening. I did not authorize any of that, just so you know. But they seem to have hijacked my YouTube channel and they're shoving ads in front of my videos right now. I haven't collected a penny, not one penny ever from YouTube. Not one penny from YouTube in my life has ever gone to me. And I refuse to collect a penny from YouTube from all those shitty ads that are running. I'm just letting you know that it's not, because somebody left a comment I saw on YouTube. It's like, oh, AW must be looking for the money or something, so he's got ads running. Are you kidding? I never received a penny from YouTube. And they hijacked my channel, and they're putting ads in front of my videos right now without my permission, without my consent, without anything. Without my authorization, I'm letting you know that's what that is. Yeah, okay, let's go into it a little bit. So what kind of subliminal stuff are you seeing all the time? Number one, what's being thrown at you left and right on social, on the internet, on, you know, on streaming services, you know, whatever, Netflix, Hulu, whatever, you know, Amazon, whatever it is. What's being thrown at you? Because there's so much that's blocking like movement forward. It's blocking like movement forward into healing, because your brain is part of not going in all in on medical medium. That's part of it, is your brain is part of that, of course. It's a big piece of it. And if your brain is getting filled up with all these different things like nutritional yeast, you know what I mean? Mushroom coffee, you know, colostrum, your brain's being filled up with whatever's being said out there. Mediterranean diet is now proven to help people. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you should be doing this. You should be eating meat all the time and only meat. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Whatever it is that's getting filled in, neurotransmitters, electrical impulses, neurons are taking all that in, that it becomes like this conditioning and this brainwashing aspect that's happening. And right now, that's going to get in the way of a lot of people. They're going to get brainwashed and kept from moving forward further in their healing process because they're so brainwashed by so much subliminal crap, so much messaging, so much conditioning. That could be a part of it all on its own, just letting you know right there. Okay. What else could be blocking you from going all in on eating? Well, what's all in on eating? Are you a dabbler? Are you just dabbling? That's fine. Just be a dabbler. You can be a dabbler. That's okay. It's just that if you get like sick or something isn't getting better, just don't kick me in the ass. Don't kick me in the ass later. That's all. Don't say, I did medical medium and that guy, boom, you know, I'm going to go on social. I did medical medium. I did everything medical medium. Meanwhile, I'm not looking at your grocery receipts, your bank records, your credit card statements, the restaurants you're choosing, the different foods you're choosing, what you're ordering at the grocery store, what you're buying in the grocery store, what your doctor appointments are. Did you get different medical treatments? What's going on here? All these things in your life that are going on, right? That I don't know how much chocolate you've eaten, how much this you've eaten. I don't know anything. You're doing all this stuff, and then you're like, oh, medical medium isn't helping me. You know, just don't do that. And I know you're not. You're asking a really good comment. This is for other people, not for you. That was for other people, as people do that. But let's talk about some things that can block you. One is, like I was saying, conditioning and brainwashing can block you from not doing medical medium altogether. The other thing was, what medical medium are we talking about? Are you talking about, like, can you stay on celery juice? Can you stay systematically on celery juice for a while, every day? Can you get the medical medium morning cleanse in? Start there, hold strong. Start there and hold strong, okay? Lemon water first thing in the morning. Squeeze some lemon, boom, in some water. You're drinking that down. Flush your liver, boom, right? Moving on, celery juice next. You're doing 16 ounces, 20 ounces, 30 ounces, 32 ounces. Celery juice, good, 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 good. That's next. Wait a while, heavy metal detox smoothie. Get that down. And no fats before noon. No fats before noon. One of the things that could be getting in your way of why you're not going all in on medical medium is, are you on high-fat diets of some kind? Are you vegan on high fat? Are you animal protein and on high fat? Are you vegetarian and on high fat? Are you doing a lot of fat in there but don't know it? Because here's what happens. Fat ignites the adrenals. The adrenals explode because fat causes them to gush and pour out. Adrenaline goes in through your brain, in and out of every organ, goes through your whole body, and it creates problems, and it weakens your train of thought. It weakens your commitment. It weakens your focus. It weakens your dedication. It weakens your all in. You know, so you might not just be able to get all in with medical medium because you're doing high fat still. Maybe you're doing some other adrenaline spiking things like chocolate, coffee, green tea, some kind of like tea drink, black tea, energy drink, whatever it is. And your adrenals are just, they're popping off. It's hard to just go all in on medical medium when you're an adrenaline junkie, and that's another thing too. And I'm not calling you adrenaline junkie to get you like upset or anything like that. No disrespect, but most people are adrenaline junkies. That's what they are. They're living and breathing and like they're functioning on large amounts of adrenaline. That's what they're doing. And the large amounts of adrenaline run and rule their life. Run and rule their life. You know what's funny? They're starting to talk shit about intermittent fasting. Did you know that? This is separate from all this and all that. They're starting to talk shit about intermittent fasting. I talked crap about it, meaning all the facts, all the information of why it was bad, like you name it, intermittent fasting. Remember when intermittent fasting took over and it was the biggest thing since sliced bread? Everybody was doing it. Now you don't hear a squeak. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of intermittent fasting books published out there, self-published out there. It's crazy, right? And there's so many self-published intermittent fasting books. They're like pamphlets. They're putting thousands of them all over the place out there for sale, you know? And what's crazy about all of that is it's gone. It's gone. Gone. And now they're starting to actually write about it out there, like intermittent fasting is actually bad for you. Really? Because I published information a long time ago why it was bad for you. Another trend here and then, bottom line. Okay. All right. What I recommend if you're not all in on medical medium, just do a little bit at a time. Little bit at a time. That's it. Okay, let's move on to the next question right there. Get the books, read them, learn, bring in something. What ailments are you suffering and struggling from? What are you faced with? What are you dealing with? Learn in the medical medium literature. Get the information that came from above. Fix your problems. Fix them. You can do it. You can do it. Cleanse and Heal is an amazing book right there, all on its own. I'm going to eat this sushi after this. No, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not eating the sushi. Okay, get ready for this one. Here we go. Next question. How do you get enough protein? Protein doesn't heal you. Protein doesn't kill off viruses that got you sick. Protein doesn't fix your thyroid. Protein doesn't fix multiple sclerosis. Protein doesn't fix reproductive diseases, eczema, psoriasis, for skin diseases. Protein doesn't fix UTIs. It doesn't fix deficiencies. It doesn't fix really anything. Protein is easily gathered. There's tons of it everywhere. It's in everything and anything you eat, unless you're eating like table sugar that was completely stripped of everything, and it's not, say, raw sugar, which actually has some protein in it, and it's just table sugar that was like bleached and stripped. Yeah, you're not going to probably get any protein from that, duh. The point is you get protein from everything. Protein doesn't have anything to do with anything. It doesn't have anything to do with living long, dying short, living, this way, living that way. It's something that people still don't realize. The protein myth is painstaking. Even me talking about this now, I can guarantee you there's some people going, okay, I'm done with that guy. I'm out of here. I'm going to leave him a bad comment later. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about because there's all these, longevity people. They're all just about protein. Like, he doesn't know shit. Or some trainer's going to be like, it's not like, and that's another thing too, okay? Over the years, I've helped some of the, would say is, most influential people on the planet, blah, blah, blah. And that includes, you know, people who are like Olympics, even now, you name it. And they're not like freaking out about protein. They just want their pain to go away. They want their struggle to go away. They want their symptom to subside so they can keep moving forward. And they're getting so much protein and it ain't doing it. Protein is not the answer to fixing chronic illness or any kind of symptom and condition. I'm telling you now, you got to get rid of that brainwashing. You were brainwashed about protein, and guess what? Unfortunately, it's happening all over again now in the industry of health. Back to the same old protein bullshit talk all over again. It's so sad. It really is, because what it does is it does this. It makes it so you can easily get thwarted and never find out why you're sick, never know how to heal, never get any answers, never know how to move forward, because someone's just going to be like, it's protein, that's your problem. You got a protein deficiency. You're lacking protein. You need high quality proteins. You need your grass-fed beef. This isn't an anti-animal protein and animal-based diet talk. Because the same crap goes to the vegans. They're so brainwashed to wanting protein. It's ridiculous. People who became plant-based or just vegan, whatever you want to call it. I get why it's vegan and plant-based, okay? I know, try not to punish me. People who went that way into plants only, they went that way thinking, I'm going to go this way because I can still get protein. Oh, the plant-based doctors know better. All the plant-based people know better. I can get my protein through beans, legumes. I can get my protein through this, through that, through nuts and seeds. Lots of nuts and seeds. That's where I can get my protein. But they can still get themselves sick. They're still on high-fat diets, vegan, plant-based high-fat diets. They're still doing too much of the wrong thing. They're still doing nutritional yeast thinking they're getting their protein. And they're still brain screwed, totally brain screwed on the conditioning of a protein. And it's the saddest thing ever, because it's going to get in the way, because somebody's going to say, as the trends shift and move and ebb and flow, somebody's going to say, you're vegan? Oh, you're stupid. You need to get on animal protein fast. You're sick because you're lacking protein. And then that vegan person goes, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done to my kids and my children? What have I done to myself? You're right. That's why my menstruation isn't right. You're right. That's why I'm this and this. They don't realize they got bugs, they got pathogens, they got Epstein-Barr, they got, adrenal problems, they got all kinds of pancreas problems. They got all these kinds of problems. It has nothing to do with protein or not. And they get thwarted. It's a big part of why veganism's dead. It's dead. There's a microcosmic bit of it left out there. Tiny microcosmic level left of veganism out there and plant-based. It's so freaking small. It's ridiculous. It was destroyed by money pushing ads and meat-eating influencers. They annihilated the veganism movement. It's like the only thing the only people turning vegan now, I might be getting carried away here. The only people eating vegan now are people that go to progressive schools, maybe like progressive private schools, and they don't want to hurt an animal, so they have the human right, the animal rights thing, they have the animal rights thing down, and they go vegan earlier on in their life as they're going through their private high school, their private boarding school, then they go into whatever their university that they go into, and they're going in vegan, the progressive university, and they go in vegan, right? And because it's about animal rights, so become animal activists. That's pretty much where we're going to end up left with. I mean, there's some vegans and plant-based people in the medical meme community, thank God. Keep it alive, okay? I'm a huge supporter of plant-based, huge supporter. Like me, hate me, don't like the way I look, don't like the way I talk, I don't care. I'm a huge supporter of the plant-based movement, but the plant-based movement is is still high fat, they still do things wrong, they still eat all the wrong crap, and they still get themselves sick. So what I'm a fan of is Spirit of Compassion's plant-based information so you can heal and be plant-based. Because you're going to want to be plant-based to heal. Yes, you are. Because how do you heal debilitating neurological problems when you're eating, a pound of meat every day, and you're drinking milk, raw milk, and you're eating a stick of butter, and you're eating like 3 eggs a day? How are you going to fix a neurological problem? You're not. You're not. But you can heal doing animal-based just right. But you've got to bring in all the medical medium information and understand how to break that down. So you can still be animal-based and still work on your healing. It's important. If you're plant-based, stay plant-based. Okay? But this isn't a propaganda talk, one side or the other. It's just a reality, perspective, information, like hardcore on healing, on moving forward and stuff. You look today, you can look at all the different gurus out there and crap and influencers and stuff. They don't know anything now about what anybody, ultra-processed foods, that's their answer, big answer. First of all, you can be sick for 20 years and you never even touch an ultra-processed food. You've been beyond that. You were eating sprouts and stuff 20 years ago, and growing your own whatever, and you're not even near growing your own. You have your own hens, chickens in a shack in the backyard. You're not even near an ultra-processed food, and you're sick for 20 years. Thyroid problems, Graves' disease, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, restless leg syndrome, neuropathy, you name it, and you're suffering. And you're not even near an ultra freaking processed food, because that's what it is. It's about, the real information about how to heal. If someone's still on ultra processed food, they say, yeah, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If they're sick, yeah, they just get off of that, sure. But you can stay sick for 20 years eating what you think is vegan, really good stuff, eating what you think is animal-based, really good stuff. And you can be sick and stay sick forever if you don't know what happened. You don't know about the metals in your brain, where they're located. You don't know about the pathogens and how to kill them. You don't know how to detoxify your body properly, get the detoxing going properly. There's people even in the medical medium community, they talk about detoxing. They're out there like trying to get like people support and stuff towards their philosophy, and they're talking about detoxing, and what they're offering isn't even like, they're not even like struggling from real detox symptoms on any level. Like, they don't even realize it, but what they're struggling with isn't even detoxing, and what they're eating isn't even really medical medium, and they're out there like an authority in the medical medium community. Like, I've seen so many things out there, I'm just like, my head's just like, what the hell? But I can't keep track of it all. I got to make sure the next book comes out so you got answers so you can move yourself forward and read the book and learn. Okay, so let's keep on going here. Anyway, the protein thing, just be very, very careful with that one. That's a mind screw. It was a trap set many, many years ago. There were deals brokered that were grandfathered in to make like autoimmune, and protein. There were reasons for that. And so everybody who gets sick, they're going to think, do I have enough protein? And then you see out there, you see that 0.00001% of thin Instagram models, both whatever, men, women, on Instagram or wherever it is, and they're worried about their calories. They're worried about how much protein they're eating. They look like they got it all down. You'll see. They just collect bugs, collect metals, burn out their liver, and now they're doing GLP-1. And then that's not working. Then they're 39 years old and shit's falling apart and they're getting sick and they're remembering their old days, I was an Instagram model back 10 years ago and thought I had it all down, and I was doing like, ask me anything, everybody. Yeah, this is what I eat for breakfast here. I put peanut butter on my oatmeal. You remember that one? You know what I'm saying? Point I'm trying to say is it all changes and everybody gets sick in the end. Everybody leaves here and dies in the end. And they get sick all through the process in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. And protein is not the answer. All right. Wait till we hit the round table. All right. Okay. Let's answer another question. Okay, so all right. So I see there's a question. So let's look at this question. All right. This question. What's the cause of Hailey-Hailey disease? Let's go into that a little bit, okay? So what's the cause of Hailey-Hailey disease, right? So the Hailey-Hailey disease basically is from the Hailey brothers. What that means is you got the Hailey brothers. The Hailey brothers decided, this is the disease, let's use our name. Happens in every single disease corner of the world, every single university, every single medical clinic. Everybody wants their name on a disease. Everybody, period. What's the disease? Nobody knows. And here's the thing, but what is it really? Pathogens, keep that in mind. It's all about pathogens. So that's important to know. Pathogens inside the liver. You gotta remember, there isn't just Epstein-Barr. You have to remember this, okay? Not only do you have 100+ varieties of Epstein-Barr at this point because of the mutations growing and growing, but you got that many shingles growing and growing. You got that many HSV1s and 2s growing and growing. You got that many HHV6s. You got that many HHV7s. And then you got a lot of other HHs that they don't even have their fingers on all the way down the line. They're mutating, they're spreading, they're traveling. They create rashes, blisters, all kinds of different, deformations on the body. It's just how it works. The key is how do you clean up and heal and use anti-pathogenic foods and anti-pathogenic supplements to knock back those pathogens so you can get rid of or get out of any disease name, because that's what you want, to get off of the disease name list. And that's important. So the key is, it's about cleaning up the liver, cleaning up the body, restoring the central nervous system, getting deficiencies fixed. Medical meme information fixes more deficiencies in people than anything else on the planet. Anything else on the planet, any diet system, anything, whatever that's out there, any trend. Medical meme information fixes deficiencies. It is the anti-deficiency. It is the deficiency fixer. That's what it is. People, it's sad that they don't know how much is here in these books. It's here for people. So let's get some more questions. Okay, so we got some alopecia. A lot of people have alopecia. A lot of people have it. So many people have this, okay? But remember this, keep this in mind right now. So many people have healed from alopecia. They have healed their alopecia using medical meme information. Very important. I did a video, was it like a video, a live? It was a live. Because I like doing mostly lives, that's what it really is. It's rare I ever do a video of any kind, like lives is I just want to be here present for you guys in the moment. I don't care if I step on a nail and it goes through my shoe while I'm live, or I spill my tea across the board, or I drop my book on my foot. I don't care. I know that people care about that stuff, so they won't go live. They don't want to say something stupid. They don't want to do something stupid. I don't care. I'm live for a reason. Okay, so talk about alopecia. I did this live a while back. I think it was in November. Don't quote me on that. And it was about peas. It was right out of Life Changing Foods. So let's get the Life Changing Foods book right here. There's the Life Changing Foods expanded edition. Make sure you have it. Little side note right here. You guys don't mind if I talk up my book for a second? I hope that's okay. I mean, is it against the rules? Okay. I opened it. This means I'm going to be searching for a persimmon. I opened it to persimmon. This is a very spiritual book right here. Where you open it, there's something there for you. Even if you don't eat the fruit, or you eat the vegetable, or you eat the herb, or you eat the wild food, even if you don't do that, there's something in here. So make sure you know that. But in here, I talk about peas, the whole thing about peas in here. Peas help with alopecia. They're very helpful with hair loss in women. Eyelashes, eyebrows, just all of it. So bring in some peas. So some green peas, you could steam them. You can incorporate them into your meals. You might even be able to do like a medical medium mono cleanse with green peas, like with the Cleanse to Heal book. Cleanse to Heal and Brain Saver. It's another book, but Cleanse to Heal. Let's get into alopecia for a minute. Keep in mind, I may not pronounce every single illness or disease properly. I did not go to medical school. I am not a doctor. Okay, let's go. Although I have a doctor friend who doesn't pronounce anything right either, so it can happen. Okay, here we go, alopecia. We got adrenals. Adrenals have a certain amount of hormones undiscovered by medical research and science. Medical research and science is not looking at every single hormone produced by your adrenal glands, but there is a subset of hormones, a hormone that's responsible for women to keep hair follicles strong and to hold hair within that hair follicle. If you've gone through, say, difficult relationships, bad relationship breakups, betrayal, hardships, struggles, stress, financial stress, anything, adrenals have a problem. And what that problem is, they get pressure on them, and they have to perform, and they have to release adrenaline. And that adrenaline is there to battle the stress, protect you from a stroke, protect your brain. But yet it kind of backfires over time because your adrenaline becomes toxic as you go along as well. It's corrosive and toxic. But in the process of stress, women endure in so many ways for so many reasons. Adrenals can weaken to the degree where it's not detected by their physician. Adrenal fatigue is not detected by their natural doctor, holistic doctor, DO, functional medicine doctor, whatever that doctor is, their MD, their GP, their internist. It's not detected because science isn't looking for every hormone that the adrenals produce. But there is one hormone that's produced that's responsible for keeping hair on the head of a woman, including eyebrows and eyelashes. Okay, so in the medical medium books, you can look into alopecia and you can see the different supplements for bringing back hair for women, and part of that is restoring the adrenals. So the supplements are geared to adrenals restoring, so therefore that hormone that's missing now in the adrenals can restore and come back. And that hormone is responsible for hair growing back on the heads of women that are missing it with the diagnosis of alopecia. Got some footnotes for you though. Get ready for the footnotes. Stay away from coffee. You got alopecia? Not going to really get that hair back. Stay away from green tea. Got alopecia? Not going to get that hair back. It's not coming back easy. Stay away from chocolate. Got alopecia? Chocolate will keep hair from coming back. Adrenaline producing chocolate. Okay, wait. You guys know what it's like to eat chocolate? You guys know what happens? You eat it and you're like, holy crap. You're like on fleek. You're on like speed. You're like flying. You can't eat a big old, chocolate bar every single day. You'll literally fall apart. You'll fall apart. Too much chocolate will kill a person. Give them a slow death. It is a drug. Sparingly. Sparingly. Chocolate, caffeine, chocolate, coffee, caffeine, you name it, all supports alopecia in a negative way, not allowing the hormone to be reproduced by the adrenals. Medical research and science didn't even know about the hormone. So if you're here, like, where's the study? Just so you know, anytime they even put studies into anything anymore, what the study is isn't even what the other thing is. It's crazy. It's just such a sham out there. You guys seeing that out there? It's been happening for a decade. The point is yeah, there's things you can do to heal. Okay. All right, here's the question right here. How to lose weight. Been on medical medium for years. Okay. Okay, so okay. I've been on medical medium. I'm going to say this. I don't know how I'm going to describe how I'm going to say this, but get ready for this. I do not sell programs. I do not sell classes. I do not sell, okay, programs, classes, all right? Keep that in mind, all right? When someone signs up to like a program or they sign up to a class, they're kind of like they hold themselves more responsible because they're paying like $3,000, $5,000 and so forth. So they end up doing what the person they bought the, program or the class or whatever it is they bought from them, the course, they do pretty much what the course tells them to do because they don't want to lose, they don't want to piss away their $3,000 even though they already pissed it away. Any of those programs, all of that stuff is just like pissing away your money. Whatever it is that you bought into, you're going to most likely probably follow it, maybe even close to the letter, because you don't want to throw away your $5,000 or your $3,000. Medical medium doesn't sell courses, classes, or programs. So when you say you're all in on medical medium or you're doing medical medium, there's not like 20 coaches hired by medical medium to make sure they're like going through your whole day, make sure like what are you cheating on, what are you eating, what did you eat yesterday, oh sorry, hey, ma'am, I'm a coach for the, the medical medium, I'm part of the medical medium coaching program course department, like they do and all these people are doing right now, that's all they're doing out there. And I'm here to help kind of coach you, guide you, go through your foods, go through what you're doing, what you're eating so you get a result. And that's what I'm here for. There's none of that with medical medium. So you have to be your own expert, your own person. You have to be doing like what you choose to do. You have to really know what you're doing. So if you say, I'm gaining weight, I can't lose weight, I've been doing medical medium for a long time, I can't like get this weight off. It's not like I sold you a $5,000 weight loss package class and course and program, and I have 3 coaches that are gonna watch your ass all day long to make sure you didn't go off one day here or eat at a restaurant here or buy something here, like that kind of thing, because you're on your own. You know what I mean? Like it's not happening like that. So with that, you have to really like hunker down and look at what you're doing. You have to, because you're not going to have all that support of 10 coaches because you paid some big $5,000 course. Instead, you can go to the library, get this for free, but then you got to come home and you got to really be committed and you got to say, what do I need to do to lose this weight? Let me go in here. Have I tried the mono cleanse? Have I tried that? Have I done the healing broth soup? Have I done no fat till 12 o'clock in the afternoon? What am I eating in the morning? What am I eating for dinner? Too many overt fats. Am I having nuts? Am I having seeds? Am I having way too many legumes? Like these are things that you got to look into. You have to study the information. Are you doing your 32 ounces of celery juice every single morning? Are you keeping fats away? Are you fat free for 30 days? Are you fat free, meaning like overt fats are gone? Are you doing the 28-day cleanse? Are you doing these different things? Because I can't like be there in your house, and I don't sell $5,000 courses so that we assign you a whole bunch of coaches. You know what I mean? I can't be there for that and do that. So I need you to like hunker down. And so I totally understand. And here's the other thing. You may be doing everything right. You may be doing the whole thing you got down. You got my highest respect. You got my respect if you're just dabbling. You got my most highest respect if you're just dabbling. And to be honest, you got my highest respect if you're even here right now, watching this live and on this live with me right now, and you're asking the question. It's a very good question, and let's explore it a little bit, okay? I just had to get like the monkey out of the way because, you know, if that monkey's in the room, trouble happens. There's a lot of people, and I've seen it out there before, a lot of people are like, I'm gaining weight, I'm doing medical medium, how do I fix this? And it turns out they're not doing 32 ounces of celery juice, they're eating overt fats like 3 times, 4 times a week, they're putting in things like chocolate and stuff that's happening, and they're not really doing medical medium, but I just have to clear that up. Let's go now. You want to get your liver fixed. If you're somebody that you're gaining weight, and that weight's coming on, you want to be fat-free, no overt fat, you want it gone. You want it out to pasture. It's over. That's what you want. You got to bring in more leafy greens. So if you have some steamed potatoes, have it with some chopped up parsley, chopped up cilantro, have steamed potatoes with some asparagus, with some broccoli. You can do that too. That's your dinner. I'm just giving you some examples, okay? And you're not trying to eat 5 pounds of potatoes in one night. You're trying to be cautious also with a little bit of how many, how much food you're actually eating. Because, I know people, they can do 5-7 pounds of potatoes, but they're also exercising, and that's another thing. Are you doing body movement? Are you exercising? Are you taking walks? Are you swimming? Are you doing 20 minutes of exercise a day? What's happening there? Are you eating too much overt fat? So my advice is you bring in more leafy greens. I would do this. I would do the medical medium spinach soup. I would bring that baby in, okay? I would make sure your breakfast is your lemon water, your celery juice, maybe an HMDS, because your liver's stagnant and sluggish and the weight's coming on because your liver is all stagnant, sluggish, and all messed up. And it's overburdened, overworked, it's not functioning properly, it can't even do its thing, and it's sitting in your body going, help, help me, help me, help me. I'm a liver that's in bad trouble. And you want to fix that liver, so you want to get that heavy metal detox smoothie in there, or that medical medium heavy metal detox, which you bring in the 5 key ingredients, and you bring it in through the course of the day. Cilantro, and you got your dulse, and you got your barley grass juice powder, and you got your spirulina, and you got your wild blueberries, and you bring it in throughout the day. But I would stay off of overt fat, gone. No nuts and seeds, gone. No seed oils, gone, right? That means like no olive oil, gone, okay? It's an olive. Get the olives out. You get the avocados out. Get the fat out so your liver can get a break. So if you're somebody doing medical medium and you can't lose your weight, get rid of the overt fats, get rid of the avocado, get rid of the olives, get rid of the olive oil, get rid of the sunflower seeds, the hemp seeds, the sesame nut butter, the tahini, you get rid of everything. Almonds, get rid of walnuts, all bye-bye, right? And then it's about getting the liver corrected, the weight's coming on, getting the liver corrected. Now it's about the celery juice, the lemon water, the celery juice. Get the HMDS. Do that so you can get rid of all those toxins inside the liver. Important. You ready for this? Do the spinach soup as your lunch. Do it as your dinner. The medical medium spinach soup. Bring that in. Make yourself some cucumber noodles. Make noodles out of cucumbers. You can do that. Okay? And you can put that in your spinach soup if you want. Snack on apples, snack on oranges, eat a banana or 2. Maybe bring in some asparagus on a daily level and up your cilantro, up your parsley, up your spinach, up your lettuce if you want. And by golly, your liver will start getting corrected. You'll start getting those poisons out from the celery juice and the heavy metal detox, and you'll start moving forward. Your weight will start to drop, and you start getting to where you need to go. That's one way of doing it. There's also couple of other different ways, but that's the whole point. Read the medical meme books and you can figure it out because it's all there. Spirit of compassion put it all there. I didn't put it there. I'm not a genius. I've had doctors read these medical textbooks and say, "Dear Lord, this is so advanced, it's unbelievable. The information in here." I just listen to Spirit. And by the way, I'm hoping you listen to the Medical Meme podcast with me and my dad. So it's coming out tonight or tomorrow. So just keep an eye on it. Medical Meme podcast at Apple Podcasts, Medical Meme podcast at Spotify. It's a lot of talking I'm doing today. Make sure you listen to the episode because it's my dad and I. My dad kindly, because he's shy, kindly did an interview with me, man. It was like the greatest thing ever. Listen, and if you like my dad, you let him know, okay? Because then we can get him on more. Because, if you don't like the interview, he's not going to come on. I mean, so if you like him, you like having him on, just let us know if you can. Make comments or whatever, and just let us know. Because I want to be like, Dad, listen. I mean, they like you. So let's do another. Let's do another episode. Because there's so much ground to cover in my childhood. There's so much ground to cover, like, in my personal life. In my life going back since I was a baby. There's a lot of ground to cover. So I want to get them on there. But if you guys don't like it. So anyway. All right, let's go to the round table. Oh, actually, we'll do one more question. All right, my gallbladder was just taken out. They didn't really give me an option because the gallstones had massed together and caused a blockage. What do I eat going forward? First of all, in that situation, I understand getting your, look, they pluck them like apples. They pluck gallbladders out of people like apples off a tree. And a lot of times, people's gallbladders, they get, right here, you see this gallbladder right here, this green gallbladder? They get so packed and so filled with sand, grit, byproduct, discharge, that it turns into like a cake mud in a mud flat on a beach, right? So, and they can't, eventually makes it so, when the, when the bile comes up the chute, it hits that gallbladder and it's like, boom, it's just like, it's ricocheting off that pile of mud that got into the gallbladder. And if you can't clear it out and didn't get to it in time and couldn't do anything about it, it might have to come out, and yours came out. So let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. They don't really give you proper protocols after you have a gallbladder surgery. I see this out there. I've seen it my whole life. I've watched this. It's common fare for the medical industry to never give guidance post gallbladder surgery. Most of the time, people get their gallbladders taken out and they lay in the hospital bed in absolute agony. Just agony. And there's no like, what do you eat? Whatever. I mean, there's really not much of that. So what do you do on the future? To begin with, you're going to have to get used to the ejection of bile dropping into your gut. So keep that in mind. And that's going to be an experience you haven't experienced before in your life. You haven't been there. It hasn't happened. This is your first time this has ever happened because it only can happen once. And when it does, you're not used to that bile dripping, the bile drip. The bile drip can be agonizing at first. It burns. It hurts. The suture still hurts. Regardless of what they used or what they did to get rid of your gallbladder, to pull it out, it all still hurts. And then there's a space now The space alone causes nausea, you know, digestive disruption, pain, emotional, mental sorrow, because there's now something missing. So there's an empty space. Physical pain happens more because of that empty space. A lot of people will say, do castor oil packs, castor oil packs, that's the answer. I don't think that's the answer. What I would say, really, a moist, hot cloth, getting a tea kettle. I don't have one in front of me right now, but that's okay. Or maybe I got one back here. Maybe an electric one or something if you want, and having hot water in there. And then what you're doing is, I know you asked me about foods and all that, but before we even go into foods, gallbladder information is very important either way, because somebody might be getting theirs out next week. So here we go. So what you're doing is you're dropping really hot water without burning your hand off. You're dropping really hot water right on this cloth here. And you don't want to burn your skin. Still want to wait a little bit. By the way, this technique's great for gastritis, gastric cramps, gastric pain, you know, all kinds of different stuff like that. Food poisoning, this is really important right here. This is very hot, steamy water in here, okay? And you can even fold the towel over and do this, and it's going to be really hot, right? So I'm just showing you right here how it works. And then you can place it, and here's what happens with gallbladder surgeries. You may not even hurt where the gallbladder was removed. Now you're just in agony everywhere. Like everywhere you're in agony all over the place. So just keep that in mind, and here's what you do. You're placing it, you know, placing it here, and you're keeping it there. You know, you're placing it in spots. You'll get pain everywhere when you get the gallbladder removed. I like this better than castor oil packs. I think they're overhyped, overrated for 1,000,001 reasons. It's been an old staple, but keep in mind, castor oil was easier to get in the very old days versus hot clean water. Hot clean water and clean towels was much harder to get 100 years ago. I can promise you that. Believe it or not, than castor oil. So rubbing castor oil on, you know, on the body for any reason and so forth, it was much easier. But I'm just telling you right now, and if you like castor oil, fine, just use it and it's fine. I'm not saying don't. I like actually doing olive oil better than castor oil. So I like that even better. You can do, if you say, well, you know, I got to do the castor oil, it's the only thing I like, try olive oil. But do a moist, hot cloth, then put some olive oil on there, and then do it, okay? Like this. I'm just saying. In bed, the whole bit, and then you once after a little while, maybe have another one ready, and you can flip, you know, you can pour it in and have the other one ready. That's very important for post gallbladder surgery, gallbladder problems, gallbladder pain, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, but the key is you want to keep fats out if you just had a gallbladder surgery. You don't want to be bombarding your system with animal protein fat, because you're thinking it's animal protein, but it's all fat because it's fat. You don't want to be drinking glasses of milk. You don't want to be eating cheese if you just had your gallbladder removed. Ask your doctor what's right for you. I'm just saying, okay? This is what I would do if I had my gallbladder. I had my gallbladder. If I didn't have my gallbladder, whatever, be a different story. But I got mine, and what I'm saying is, if I had to get mine out, this is what I would do. No milk, no cheese, no dairy, no eggs, no meat. It's all fat. I don't care what anybody says. The leanest cut, still fat. And you get all this stuff. I would keep all of that out while you're recovering. And I would be doing like bananas. Yes, bananas. Steam, fluffy, russet potatoes. Steamed, fluffy, red potatoes. Not sweet potatoes. I mean, you can do sweet potatoes. You can do like, you know, Japanese sweet potatoes and so forth. But I'm talking about like just russets. just maybe even without the skin. You're recovering from surgery and you just get this steamed russet potato, move the skin aside, just eat the potato inside, nice and warm, nice and comforting. Don't put cottage cheese on there and weird stuff and yogurt and whatever else. Don't do any of that. Don't do the dairy. And then you're just doing plain old potato, and you're doing that. And then you're doing things like bananas, steamed potato, a little bit of winter squash. All these are good. I'm just giving you kind of some options right there. A little bit of honey. Honey on your food is okay for that too. And but I would honestly make sure you get life-changing foods, expand it, get that. I mean, I talk about gallbladders. It's in different foods and stuff like that. You'll see. Look into that too. Even if your gallbladder is removed, it's important. But you don't want to be bombarding your liver with so much fat, because what's going to happen is your liver is going to produce so much bile that it's going to want to burn a hole through your brand new spot where it's dripping. The brand new spot where it's dripping, okay? Brand new spot. That brand new drip of your bile. You know? And you're going to be hurting. You keep on, you eat all the fats after a gallbladder surgery, and you're not used to that drip. What's going to happen is your liver's going to be like, get ready. It's going to be like, get ready, because you just had a glass of milk, which is fat, and we're going to produce a whole bunch of bile, and that bile is going to rip up, and it's going to head up there to that chute. It's going to drip right in that gut, and you're going to be like, ow, what am I doing? You're not even going to know. Keep the fats away. Anyway, there we go. Let's hit the round table. I'm going to take my lemon balm tea. I may take a book, maybe life-changing foods. You guys, did you get this yet, by the way? What else? I mean, do I take the sushi? No. Yeah, there we are. I got a steak over here. I could take a steak. Come on, let's head over there. You know what I was thinking? You guys? The other day I was thinking this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? All right? I can handle it. I got a skin on me. I can handle it. I mean, just hearing Spirit of Compassion since age 4 has given me a very strong skin, because it really sucked. So, you know, and I had to really develop a skin. But tell me if I'm wrong here, okay? You know, like when the medical meme community, I feel, is like one of probably the safest communities in the world when it comes down to robberies. Robberies. Isn't that odd? Why do I think that? Because what happens is that the medical meme community is very anti-scented candles, anti-plug-in air fresheners, anti-aerosols, anti-perfume and cologne, anti-fabric softeners, anti-detergents that are conventional. The medical meme community is really about keeping all that toxic scent, toxic chemical away, because keeping it away gives you a better life. Vaping chemicals, right? Vaping chemicals, all of it, gives you a better life. It protects you. You don't get toxic. You don't get super toxic. You don't feed pathogens. You stay healthier. You live longer. Everything else, all of it. And the medical meme community is about making sure that their house, their home, where they live, their apartment, wherever they're dwelling, wherever they reside, whether they live with family or not, live alone, whatever it is, they don't want the smell of those scented candles. The smell, unless you guys want that. I mean, you guys want that. I don't know what to say. I support you. I support you either way. But, you know, you guys, the medical meme community doesn't want all that. And it's something that they don't want their personal close quarters stinking of all that dangerous chem. But what happens is a friend of mine who I got them away from the plugins, I got them away from the scented candles, I got them away from all the detergents, because, you know, people think that I will only be friends with someone who, you know, does everything medical medium, everything else. That's not how it works. Like, I'll be friends with someone, and it doesn't mean, I got friends that like don't even do medical medium until they're on their deathbed in a hospital, and then they're asking me while they're there, saying, "Oh my God, I think I just got the worst food poisoning. What do I do?" And I'd be like, "Well, where were you eating?" And they're like, "Well, I was eating here, I was eating there, I was eating there." I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you eating?" Doesn't mean I'm not going to be their friend. Point is, I got this friend who had a break-in, and the person who broke in was still in the house hiding. But before that happened, are you guys with me on this or no? Before that happened, I was able to convince my friend, no plugins, no scented candles, clean up the house, get rid of all that stinking smell, get rid of the colognes, get rid of the perfumes, get rid of your clothes if it can't wash out. All that stink washes out. You know, replace the carpet. You know, they had some area carpets. Replace them. Put new carpets down. If that's what you want, an area carpet, then you're gonna, you know, whatever. That's what they want. So put new carpets down, everything like that. You name it. And they've been clean of all that, clear of all that for a long time, for quite a while. And then they live in LA, and they had a break-in, and a perpetrator got into their house. And the perpetrator was hiding in their house. This perpetrator. And I think is that the only time I've used that word? I can't remember. I haven't used that word, I think, in like 100 years, or maybe not. Don't quote me on that. So he comes home, and he walks in, and he smells cologne. And it's like, what the heck is going on? Why am I smelling cologne in my house? I got rid of that a long time ago. Is that coming from the air conditioning vent? Where's that coming from? You know, there's cologne in this house. What is going on? So he's getting really upset. So then he's smelling like detergent, like conventional fabric softener, like, you know, like Bounce, you know, like Bounce. He's smelling Bounce. That's what he told me. He said he smelled Bounce. And so he calls it. So he's in his house, and he's in his living room, and he's perplexed. Totally perplexed, confused as heck. And he's like, I don't know why my house stinks so bad, like so terribly bad. It is just unbelievable how bad it stinks. And so he called me. So I saw his number come up, and I was like, what's going on? You know, because I got a lot going on, trying to write a book, everything. Calls me, I answer, I'm like, oh, what's up? Talk to me, what's up? He goes, you know, all the advice you gave me to get rid of my scented candles, to get rid of my plugins, to get rid of the aerosols, to get rid of the cologne, to get rid of the perfume, to get rid of everything, it's like it was working, but now it's not working anymore. It worked, but now it's not working anymore. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, it stinks like crap in my house, and I don't know why, and it's so bad, I have to air out this house. And I said, wait a minute. Spirit says somebody's in your house. And he goes, what do you mean? Somebody's in your house. Get out of your house now. And he was like, I'm going to grab my wallet. I said, get out of your house now. Or then forget your wallet. You just put your wallet down. Move. He runs out of the house. He calls the cops, hangs up with me, calls the cops. They get there. There's a guy in his bedroom in the closet. Anyway, maybe I can answer another question here. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Yeah, it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So back to this. Medical medium community, they keep the smells out with the best of their ability. And so if anything ever happened or someone came in, came out, stole something, came back out, you're going to know and you're going to smell it. And then you can check your house. You'll probably find a missing this or a missing that, a missing computer, whatever it is. But you'll know. All right. So let's answer some questions here. So what do we got? Why does caffeine make my nervous system fire up hours later at night? Because what it does is it damages the central nervous system. So if you're sensitive, caffeine damages the central nervous system because it's igniting adrenaline. If your adrenals are weak, it means they become unstable. They actually become destabilized. So then they also may just release adrenaline at weird times because the caffeine's floating around, your liver's sucking up the caffeine, then your liver releases the caffeine, and anything can shift. Maybe you'll get another caffeine spurt coming out of your liver, maybe you'll get another adrenaline spurt coming out of your adrenals, or maybe your nervous system is just like, I am done with caffeine, like, get it out, it is screwing up my nervous system. So it could be any of those things. Here's a question right here. Can I ask you, what angels do we call upon to help loved ones pass on to the right place? Me personally, I'm just saying what I would do is unknown angels. I would call upon the unknown angels. That's what I would do. The unknown angels are most likely going to be there upon calling them because they're not called upon. They're not called upon. And I talked about this in the medical medium books. Do you have the medical medium books with the angel information? There it is right there. There it is. Check it out. Medical medium book 1 in new edition. If you have the original book 1, you need the new edition because it's another book with the other book. It's like 2 books in one. It's packed. Anyway, I'd call upon the unknown angels because there's a good chance they're there at your beck and call. They're there because they're not busy, because not enough people call upon them. It might be no one calling upon them. I mean, people read the medical medium books and will call upon them, but maybe they don't call upon them all the time. Once in a while, you got all these unknown angels. They don't have egos. Yes, an angel can have ego. You don't believe me? You don't believe me that angels don't have egos? Yeah. I mean, if you believe in Satan, if you believe in the devil, if you believe that Lucifer was one of God's highest prized angels, if you believe in Lucifer, then you're looking at the biggest ego. The archangels have egos. They just do. Angels have free will. They can have an ego. And so the unknown angels don't have egos. I mean, it's possible they can develop one along the way. They got their own free will, but they really don't. They don't care. Their name is unknown. They don't even want their name known. They're not out there talking to prophets so prophets can get their name. Unknown angels, they lack that ego. There's a good chance you're going to be able to get 1, 2, 3 of them there on a snap of a finger. So yeah, that's what I would do. All right, so I can talk about angels all day and all night long. All night long, all day long. Okay, here's a question. Did you guys know the medical medium community uses 144 more than any walk of life on the planet? More than any culture, any religion, every, medical medium community uses 144. And you guys like exploded that out there. You know that, right? Because now mainstream people, mainstream Christians, they're like trying to jump on the 144 train. But you guys, you got it from medical medium information, right? SOC, the 144 information. I know 144, I get it, I know. But people don't bring it up just because biblical or not. They don't bring it up. But you guys really took that information really seriously. It's amazing. Powerful numbers, 144, 777, and 144. Really powerful numbers. Like people are just like, I saw the clock, it's 11:11. It must mean something. I'm like, ugh. I remember like it was like 12 years ago. It was huge, the 11:11, 12 years ago. Every new ager on the planet, every single Reiki person, every single like psychic medium, it's like 11:11, 11:11, 11:11, 11:11. You see the clock, it's 11:11. Look for 144. Look for 144. I'm saying if you want something that has like, that holds some serious clout above. Like if you want a number, a set of numbers that has a profound, deep meaning, more than anybody even knows out there, profound, deep meaning, 144. That's the number right there. So look for that number, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 44 minutes in before 2, 144. Look at your digital, 144. All right, let's get the question. Struggling with racing thoughts and anxiety when dealing with an aggressive neighbor. I need help calming my nervous system. Okay, so no one understands what that means. Nobody understands what that means unless they've had an aggressive neighbor. They will not know what it means. I promise they won't. It is an experience that is next to none, if that's even the way to say that phrase. It is quite an experience to have an aggressive neighbor. I think that, a lot of people run into this, and they just love thy neighbor, and they try to have forgiveness for their neighbor, and they try to go into that forgiveness place and call upon Jesus Christ, and they pray, and they're like, they're into the commandments, and I need to make this right with my neighbor. But then it turns out that neighbor is just, difficult. It's just really difficult, and it doesn't seem to remedy on any spiritual aspect, on that level. It doesn't feel that way anyway, even though it can. But an aggressive neighbor is something that, unless you experience it, it's a whole nother thing. Okay, so on that note, so you get jacked from it. So you're jacked from it, okay? So you're dealing with racing thoughts, which is PTSD. So you're saying you got racing thoughts with anxiety because of an aggressive neighbor, but really you're dealing with PTSD from an aggressive neighbor. That's why you get the racing thoughts, because you're in PTSD land from this neighbor, okay? Okay, so you can do a lot of things. For example, I would create a light barrier around your dwelling, around your house. I would create a light barrier. So what I would do is I would lay there, because that neighbor has demons. Hands down, the neighbor has demons. If that neighbor is aggressive, that neighbor is filled with demons. Period. Did you guys ever listen to Angels, Demons, Spiritual Tools, Medical Medium, Angels, Demons? There it is right there. If you haven't listened, I'm going to forewarn you though, not for the faint of heart. You're going to find truth and wisdom, and it's not going to be like, it's not always satisfying to know how it works, especially with, there's demons around families, there's demons like family derms. It's called derms. You'll understand when you listen to that. But listen to that when you get a chance, if you can, okay? After you listen to the podcast of me and my dad coming out soon. Okay. I would create a light beam, a light wall, a light circle is what I would do. I would lay there in bed, or I would lay on the couch, lay on the floor in your living room. I would lay there, and I would focus and envision light coming from above, coming down, surrounding your dwelling. And if your neighbor is pinned against the wall, on the other side of the wall, your neighbor's on the other side of the wall, and you're like in an apartment building and your neighbor's right there, they're banging on the walls or whatever, you're still getting that light to go down that wall. You want that light to drop down that wall. And you're creating a light barrier. Now keep in mind, you got to live your life, and you're not going to be able to keep that light barrier there every minute, but you have to create it first, and then you have to say, light. you're in the kitchen, you're working, you can't focus on the light barrier that you created, you're chopping food, you're eating, all of a sudden just say, light. So that light barrier comes back. Because it's already, you created it, you set yourself up with that light barrier, you put that light barrier there, and you can't keep after that, you can't mine and keep after that light barrier that you created every second. You got to function, you got to live your life, you got to do things, you got to work, but every now and then, be like, light, and envision that light barrier and let that light barrier come back. All it takes is just the word light to a light barrier you already created to recharge it and bring it back. Do you know what I'm saying? It brings it right back. All you got to do is say light. Do that to keep that neighbor's demons from affecting you, from upping your PTSD, from stressing you out, all of it. Anyway, you guys, I think we covered a lot of stuff here. I think we're, are you guys gonna, look, I'll try to do another live next Thursday. Can't promise anything, but I'm gonna try. Will you be there? Will you look out for notifications? Next Thursday, let's do another Q&A. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to all the information. Let's talk about spiritual topics like we do. Let's talk about all of it. I want to provide answers. I'm sorry if I seemed a little bit rough around the edges on a couple of different topics. It's not to the person I'm talking to. It's to people out there who take for granted the information, take for granted of what this really is. You know, they don't take it seriously, and it's just like wake-up call. There's like real miracles within this information. And what's going on here? Got a question right here. I'm addicted to chocolate. Can you provide any information? I can do life-changing foods. Life-changing foods. Chocolate addiction. Brain Saver Protocols has a chocolate withdrawal protocol. And then life-changing foods. There, it tells you what foods are good for chocolate withdrawal. I mean, get Brain Saver, because you got the protocol too. Like, get them both. There's a lot of withdrawals in here. I mean, honestly, for chocolate, any kind of withdrawal you do choose that you find in this book are helpful for chocolate too. It's a drug. It's a drug. Hey man, I've been doing a lot of chocolate lately. I'm really good. This longevity doctor told me to do it. He's everywhere. He's got 20 million followers on YouTube. He just sold me like a $5,000 program. This chocolate's good for you. Where's Bryce? I gotta find out where he is. He's gotta come to do a live with us. I gotta get Bryce here. Problem is though, Bryce likes hummus, so I have to make a hummus for Bryce to come, because then he's all like, you know, he's coming off a withdrawal. Let me just say this. I talk about the information, about the symptoms and the conditions. Keep in mind though, I understand the suffering. I try my best to understand the suffering. I can't find that. Every time I try to look someplace out there to see if I could find another bumblebee, I can't. You know, no one really cares unless they're going through it themselves in the moment. And I think that has to change out there in the health realm. I want you to know that you are a very important person. You have a very old soul. If you're suffering from a symptom condition, if you're struggling from some kind of like labeled disease, whatever it is, realize that you are a good person. You didn't create it. You didn't cause it. It's not because you didn't hop on a trend or whatever it is. And you don't deserve to be sick by any means. You're a spiritually powerful person. And keep in mind that you will heal. You will heal. Do not lose focus on that. Just because people don't understand out there and they don't understand you and they don't understand what you're suffering from or your condition or your symptom, just because people can't connect to that, just know that you are truly a profound, amazing soul, and a wise soul, and an old soul. Don't lose track of that, and never lose track that you will heal. Don't lose that. Don't lose those words. Don't lose that phrase. Don't lose that meaning. Okay, you keep moving forward each day. Pat yourself on the back. And you be easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up whatever you do. Okay? Anyway, you guys, you know I love you. All right? Catch the podcasts of me and my dad. I think if anything, you might get a laugh. I don't know. There's a lot of wisdom in there, though. There's a lot of wisdom in there. I'm hoping he'll do another. I'm going to try to get him to do another, but let's hope you guys like it. Because if you guys don't like it, he's not going to want to do another one. Anyway, but he wanted to do the podcast episode. He wanted to talk, and anyway, check it out, okay? All right. Love you guys. We're talking about the super flu. Now, there's more than just a super flu going around. There's COVID, the norovirus, and of course, a random RSV here and there. But what you won't find anymore, ever, are colds. Sure, people call it a cold if they have a mild flu, but there are no colds. They don't exist. It's just flus being released and let out of the gate in the labs, private classified labs. And none of these flus would exist anymore if they weren't continually manufacturing and creating them. Why would they do that? For many reasons. Because it injures people, it kills people, and allows them to experiment so they can create a more deadlier and deadlier and deadlier flu strain. And of course, because of the political atmosphere, the evildoers in the classified labs love to release bad flus and COVID to shake up the political environment. And as years go on, these super flus and these flus and COVIDs and these bugs are going to get worse and worse and worse. So what we have to do is arm ourselves